I hadn't seen my stepson, Tyler, in nearly a year. The last time he'd visited, things were a bit awkward between us. He was 19 then, just starting college, trying to prove his independence while still figuring himself out. His father, Brian, and I had married 3 years ago, and while Tyler had always been polite and respectful, there was a subtle distance between us. It wasn't anything hostile, just cautious. Understandable, really. I wasn't his mother, and I had come into his life when he was already a young man. But this holiday season, things felt different right from the start. Brian had been away on a business trip for most of December and wasn't due back until after New Year's, so it was just going to be me and Tyler in the house for the first few days. I cleaned the guest room, made sure the bathroom had everything he might need, and even bought his favorite snacks. I wanted him to feel at home, to know he was welcome. When he arrived that evening, tired but smiling, I felt a warmth in my chest I hadn't expected. He had grown, his face a little sharper, his voice deeper, but his smile still had that boyish charm. "Hey, Lisa," he said as he hugged me. "Thanks for letting me crash here." "Of course, Tyler," I replied, hugging him back. "This is your home, too." We settled into an easy rhythm over the next few days. Mornings were slow and relaxed. I made pancakes or scrambled eggs, and we'd sit by the kitchen island, chatting about college, classes, and his plans. He told me about his roommates, about this band he was trying to start with some friends, and how he'd taken up photography. He showed me some of his photos on his phone, portraits, nature shots, even some urban street photography. He had an eye for it, and I told him so. One chilly afternoon, it began to snow. We sat by the window with hot cocoa in our hands, watching the flakes dance down from the sky. The house felt warm and peaceful. I realized how much I'd missed having someone around. Since Brian traveled so much, I'd grown used to the silence, but Tyler's presence filled the house with a kind of calm energy. Later that night, we decided to watch a holiday movie together. I let him pick, and he chose a comedy we both ended up laughing through. It felt natural, easy, like we were finally getting to know each other without any pressure. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of something clattering in the kitchen. I quickly got up and walked out to find Tyler trying to make coffee, frowning at the fancy espresso machine Brian insisted on buying. I laughed softly and offered to help. "You just have to press here," I said, reaching around him. He smiled sheepishly. "I miss the old-school kind. This thing looks like it could launch a spaceship." We laughed again, and the moment felt oddly intimate, not romantic, not inappropriate, just close. Later that day, Tyler asked if I wanted to join him for a walk. The snow had stopped, and everything outside was blanketed in white. We bundled up and walked through the neighborhood park. He took some photos while we walked and even snapped a few candid shots of me, which made me laugh. "You have a nice smile," he said as he showed me the picture. I thanked him, feeling a bit flustered, though I knew he didn't mean anything by it. That evening I made dinner, his favorite, mac and cheese with baked chicken. As we ate, we talked about his childhood, about the times he and Brian used to go camping. He was more open now, sharing memories, asking about how Brian and I met, and even joking around a little. I saw a different side of him, more mature, more confident. It was nice to witness that growth. By the fourth day, we had slipped into a quiet companionship. We cooked together, cleaned up together, even went out grocery shopping. It was during one of those trips that something shifted. We were in the frozen foods aisle, trying to decide between two brands of pizza, when an older woman walked by and said, "You two make a cute couple." Tyler and I both laughed awkwardly, and I quickly said, "Oh no, he's my stepson." But afterward, in the car, Tyler brought it up. "She thought we were a couple," he said, smirking. "Yeah, I guess the age gap isn't that huge when you think about it," I joked. He glanced at me sideways. "You're still young. It's not like my dad married someone ancient." I laughed. "Well, thank you." There was a pause, and then he said, "I don't know, it's just this has been nice, you know?" I looked at him and nodded. "Yeah, it has." That night, as I was cleaning up the kitchen, Tyler walked in and leaned against the counter. "I'm really glad I came," he said. "I'm glad too," I replied. He hesitated, then added, "It's weird, but I feel closer to you now than I ever have." That touched me more than I expected. I smiled, trying to keep my voice steady. Me too, Tyler. I always hoped we could have this kind of connection. The days went on, and the holidays grew nearer. We decorated the tree together, hung lights around the house, and even baked cookies. I found myself looking forward to every morning, every little moment we spent together. There was nothing inappropriate, just a growing sense of comfort and trust between us. On Christmas Eve, we sat by the fireplace with the tree lights casting a soft glow across the living room. Tyler handed me a small gift, wrapped in simple red paper. "I got you something," he said. I was surprised. "Tyler, you didn't have to." "I wanted to," he interrupted. I opened it and found a framed photo, one he had taken of me at the park during our snowy walk. It was beautiful, artistic, the background softly blurred while I stood in the foreground, mid-laugh. "I thought you should see yourself the way I see you," he said quietly. I was touched beyond words. "This is beautiful. Thank you." He smiled. "You've been really good to me, Lisa. I know it's not easy, being a stepmom, but you've always tried. And now I see that." That moment, quiet and sincere, was one of the best gifts I had received in a long time. It validated everything: the awkward beginnings, the slow bond we built, and the genuine care that now existed between us. I gave him a hug, holding on to the warmth of that connection. When Brian returned a few days later, he noticed it too. "You two seem closer," he remarked with a smile. "We are," I said simply. Tyler left just after New Year's, but this time, it wasn't a goodbye filled with distance. It was a see you later, full of mutual respect and a bond that had finally, genuinely formed. He hugged me tightly before getting into his car. "Thanks for everything, Lisa." "Anytime, Tyler. Come back soon." And as I stood there, watching his car pull away down the snowy road, I felt a sense of peace. That holiday had changed everything. It had brought my stepson back into my life, not just as Brian's son, but as someone I truly cared for, someone who had come into his own and opened a door between us that would stay open from now on.